Hey guys, this is Yoda. In this video, we'll go over some of the tech that you see in Operation Floodgate that people are using to time high keys. So the first thing you'll notice is that we're actually going on the mountain. So this is a mountain route. People were doing some of it in PTR. We're pulling that first pack of dogs and then all of this up to the first Blood Warper. By the way, incidentally, this pull is extremely difficult for the tank. You have a bunch of dogs running in, and these dogs have a buff on each other. So every single dog nearby gives them 10% increased attack speed, or haste, I guess. So if there's this many dogs, they have like double or more attack speed. So make sure you have, good healer external going into the pull, and then make sure you're rolling defenses pretty much the whole pull. If you ever run out of defenses, you're gonna have to kite. You're probably honestly just gonna die. So that's why we lost this pull, and the dogs need to die pretty quickly. The reason we do this is to clear the platform on top of the first boss. You notice the first boss is like this way. And this will come up later in the video. So after you do this, there's some interesting routing. I'm not going to go over all of it. You can just check the VOD if you want to see exactly what we pulled in what order. Basically, we clear the entire first area, all the pulls that you would normally do, just like in a little bit of a different order. Then we get up to the first boss. So the way we actually play this first boss is a bit different than what you may be used to seeing. So for the first thing is that if you notice, only the melee players are here. The range DPS are running, and if you're playing a priest, then they would do this too. The range DPS are running all the way around back up to here, which is where we cleared the first pack. So they're going to play upstairs. That way the boss, they can basically ignore all the boss mechanics and all the mecha drones whenever they get picked. Will just stay in melee whenever they pick the range. Also, you'll note that I am tagging these two soldiers. BDH has very long range. You can also double jump to avoid this little hump. But double jump, or I said jump one single jump and then tag them with their glaive and go here. These will not aggro the Blood Warper unless you're literally standing on the stairs when they run past, or you're standing over here, they can run through the Blood Warper, but if you're standing where I am, they will not. We also have these markers down. If you notice, this square is basically like max range from where the range are. Ideally, you're not baiting any of the ads to charge this way. They're at most charging here or here for the melee charges. You notice this one picks a range and he just simply doesn't charge, right? That's one of the reasons they're staying up there. One downside of this is that while they're up there, your healer may have trouble reaching them if you're playing something like Prez Evoker. Other things like Darkness and AMZ have trouble reaching the whole group. Usually it's like Darkness for the melees and AMZ for the range instead of like, staggering them, using one on each. Anyway, that is where the range are playing to ignore some boss mechanics. After the boss, there is something that I have seen many groups struggling with, and that is the skip. Also, we're dying here because of our positioning. That is a skip on this mob. So there are two ways to do it. You can pull it away all the way to the other side, and then someone else clicks the box and shadow meld it off. However, in my opinion, that way, there's no point doing that because you can do this. So there is a very specific pixel that you can stand on and click the box where the Blood Warper will not aggro you. If you just mind soothe and like walk over here and click the box, you'll get interrupted by the Blood Warper. And you'll enter combat and everyone will laugh. So the very specific pixel here is where I am. You notice I turned on auto walk to make sure that I got on the exact pixel. If you notice, one of my feet is like barely on this little structure here. Like half of it is in the structure, half of it is off. That's basically what you're looking for. And you want to be roughly in line with this barricade. And then you can mouse over. This is why you have auto walk, by the way. You mouse over this so you can see that it's like barely clickable. If you want to fix it, you can like take one step left and you'll see that it's like not clickable, and then you take one more step to the right, you see that it is clickable. So that's how you know you're exactly on the borderline. And then you can click. As you can see, I'm clicking it. Blood Warper doesn't disturb me, and we move on. All right, so that is how we do that. Any class can do that, by the way, as long as the soldiers are out of the way. You can mind soothe path inspectors. And yeah, so we're going here. We do that pull, and then we glider all the way down. So you'll notice I do this glider pull in a different way than some other people I've seen. The reason is if you just tag them and go straight up, then these harpooners will walk all the way around. So you see this path that our characters are taking. Some of them are going all the way around here, up the stairs, and all the way around, right? You don't want that to happen because that's a very long path for the diver's take. It takes forever for the pack to get grouped. So my team is going all the way around to know why. So I'm going to tag them, bring them to where I am first. First they come here, and then I jump up, and you can see they're taking the short way here. So the pack is grouped a lot faster rather than them walking all the way around. It's like not the biggest deal, but it is a small improvement in my opinion. Also, the reason this pull is doable, by the way, a lot of people may not know, these harpoons, the harpoon cast is force desynced. Only one diver can cast harpoon at the same time. No matter if there are 2 divers or 30 divers, only one can cast Harpoon at the same time. So it's better not to assign kicks by marker. You just like find the nameplate and then click on it and then click, you know, kick it. All right, next we're gonna do this skip. So this is unique to not playing a priest. If you're playing a priest, they just fade and then grip someone on mount. For DH with no priest, you can just pull them away here, then double jump into Shadow Meld, and it's a skip. And this pull, everyone does this pull their own way. We do the silence to sync cast into, or beam into sync cast into silence sigil to interrupt. Then we're gonna do the bubble skip. I've seen a lot of people mess this one up too. You can also, by the way, I saw someone double jump up here and snap bubbles up here, but it's like only slightly faster, so we're not gonna talk about it here. Here you notice I'm very carefully standing so that bubbles will walk and not get LOS, and also I will not aggro this pack. Even if you pull this pack, by the way, you still want to pull bubbles this way so that he doesn't walk through this, try to walk through this fence and get weird pathing. So I'm walking him here, he casts bubble burp, we keep walking. As soon as he starts this splish blast cast, everyone in the group can go through. And then I also jump into meld, into go forward, and I'm already here with the group for the pack. All right, so that is the tech rundown for Floodgate. Thank you all for watching. Peace out.